Hi everyone, thank you for checking out my review of the Ryobi HLD-120. If you're here, you're probably on the fence about whether to get this drill or not, and I will give you my opinion here based on my experience with it for the past month that I've had it with me. I'll tell you what it could do and what it could not do for me while I used it. So bear in mind that everything I say here is based on my experience and my opinion only. And with that said, let's get straight into it. So let's have a look at the unboxing experience. The box has a seal indicator which you can cut, or after you peel it off it's gonna show that the box has been opened, and opening the box will reveal the drill itself and a small white box with the manual right underneath it. Let's pick up the drill and show you what it looks like. Now the look of it is impressive to me, and the head is partly plastic. Didn't really like that, but I guess it'll do because of the price range. I can't really complain. I like the light in front when you press the button. I think that's a nice touch. With every drill that they make nowadays, they all seem to have that, so that's pretty cool. Now let's have a look at the battery. This is what it looks like on the outside. It's compact and small. You just press this button right here and it'll pop right out. There is a green and red light inside to indicate when you start and finish your charging, and this is what the battery looks like underneath. It's a 12-volt battery, and you slide that right back in, and it's that easy to replace the battery if you should ever need to change it. Let's place that aside and have a look at the little white box. And inside of the little white box, the first thing that we have is the adapting charger. This is very compact and easy to carry around, so you can actually carry it around quite easily, but it's also very easy to lose because of its size. But I think it'll be easy to replace, just that you need to find a 12-volt battery. This clip here is what you're gonna need to use to put on the drill itself, so that you can hang it on your belt if you're working on an area that you cannot place it down, and you just need to hang it on your belt. This is what it looks like up close. So you're gonna need a screwdriver to attach the little clip onto the screwdriver, and you're gonna put it on the side here. There's one on the left and one on the right, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. That's the little slot where you're gonna put it in, and then you place the screw and tighten it in place just like this, and in no time you have a complete drill. It's that easy, and the drill is all put together for us to use immediately. And this is what the drill looks like on all around. It's very compact and easy to use and looks quite good. Now let's put it aside and have a look at the last thing in the box, which is the manual, which I doubt many people read these days, but they're included. Now let's talk about the rotation speed of the device. For me, it wasn't as fast as I'd hoped, honestly, even though it's pressure sensitive and the harder you press on it, the faster it'll go. Just don't expect too much out of this. It'll do the job, but don't expect too much. Now with the real test of things that you would drill on a normal day, wood is the first thing I can think of, and I will say that it has no problem with that. Even though it doesn't rotate as fast as I'd hoped it would, it works just fine with wood. And when it comes to normal bricks, it also goes through normal bricks just fine. So if you need to hang a picture on the wall, or hang curtains, or do something like that, where you're gonna need to drill on a wall that is normal brick, it'll do the job. I think it will. And concrete brick also works just fine. So if you need to work on concrete brick, like putting your outside gate on or something like that, you can drill those without any problem with this drill. Now when it comes to steel, I had not just a problem with this because it didn't work, but it didn't work at all. So as you can see here, maybe it's not very clear on the video, but it didn't go through the steel at all. So if you're planning on doing heavy work like that, I would recommend that you don't get this drill. It's not gonna work for you. As you can see here, there's just a little dot in the piece of steel, but it didn't go through it. Now let's talk about what I think this drill is really good for. I think this is the most you can use it for, and that is to screw and unscrew, bolt and unbolt things. I think that's what you're really gonna use this for the most, even around the house. It's only often that you're gonna use this drill to actually drill something inside the wall, but when you're using this, mostly it's going to be to screw and unscrew things. So yeah, pun intended, if you're just gonna use a drill to, if you want a strong drill to screw around with, this is the drill for you. This will do the job. I think that is the best use that you will get out of this drill. And next, I wanted to find out how good the battery life really is compared to what they market it about. So I took a zip tie and triggered the trigger to work, so that put it on full capacity, so the drill will continuously work and rotate and rotate and rotate until the battery would run out. Now bear in mind that this took a lot of my time. I initially thought that this was only gonna last about 10 minutes at the most, because after all this is a home drill, and it's almost like it was made only to screw around with, and the drilling part is just a small extra feature that they put on. But I also do believe that if you use this drill to actually drill the wall and drill heavy stuff for heavy use, I think it'll break before its time and its guarantee. So that's mostly why I wouldn't even recommend it for that as well. So for a drill that I thought would only be used to screw around, you can see that we're already at 9 minutes, approaching 10 minutes. I actually recorded every 10 minutes for about 10 seconds just so you would see the progress, but I had it continuously run for the full usage of the battery until the battery died out. And like I said, if this battery did 10 minutes, that's already a lot of use, considering that you're only going to use it at home, and in most cases you would charge it after using it maybe 5-6 times. But I guess the biggest con is also the fact that it takes a long while for this battery to recharge once you deplete the battery all the way to zero. So we're now at 23 minutes. I didn't expect it to go this far, but here we are, and it just kept on going and going. Of course, you also have to bear in mind the fact that while doing this test and the battery is being used and the drill is being triggered, I'm not actually applying any resistance to it. So there's no resistance to the drill at all, where the drill is going to be going through heavy materials. So I guess that'll cut it down to about half of the usage. But then it got to this 37 minutes, and by this time I'm astonished that it got this far, and this is basically where it ended. So it lasted 38 minutes 15 seconds, and that is pretty good. So I was curious about how much voltage is coming out of the charger, this tiny charger, when you hook it up, and I hooked it up to a multimeter to see, which gave me 15.5 volts. So it's 15.5 volts charger that you're gonna need to look for. Anything that has a 15.5 output, and when you hook it up to the battery, there is nothing coming out of the battery while the battery is charging, which is a good thing for safety. And now we're gonna try and see just how long it takes to actually recharge this battery back up when it's absolutely flat, like it is now, when I waited all the way to the point where the drill actually stopped working. And this surprisingly was a very long wait. I thought I waited a long time when I was actually using the drill to see how long it would last, but this is much longer, and now I can understand why it took quite a while for it to actually finish the battery. But as you can see here, we're already on like 4 hours and 53 minutes. So this battery takes almost 5 hours because it's 4 hours and 54 minutes to charge all the way up to full capacity. So is this drill good value for money? I would say yes, if you're only looking for a drill to screw around with. And while you use it, even if you're using it for just home use, I recommend that you keep your charger plugged on the wall where you can just press the switch after you finish using it, and then once you finish using the drill, you plug it in and wait until it's charged, because it takes a very long time to charge. But other than that, it's not for heavy use, yes, but it does get the job done around the house. If you're only gonna need it to drill from time to time every now and again, but mostly to use to screw, I think this is a very strong contender. But if you're gonna be using it for heavy use, I wouldn't recommend it, and it's definitely not for industrial use. So that's my review. Till next time.